Welcome back to Griffin Indiana 22 for episode 24 with me, MrSealyp. We are now into June, and this is an unusual way for me to start the video, I know. However, before it disappears, I have got the option on a Distinction Triple Hopper, which I'm going to buy for two reasons. One, it doesn't hurt to have a second trailer with a large capacity. Yes, my other trailer is 52,000 litres, this is a 51,800. But, well, there's multiple reasons. It's like the Spanish Inquisition, isn't it? Because it's got three compartments, I could potentially do three different harvesting areas and put the different crop types in depending on how much I'm going to get crop-wise. But also, because I've got my lorry, which I'm not using that often, if I've got a trailer on the lorry, I can get to and from the fields faster than if I've got a tractor-trailer combo. So at 32 grand, 57% off. I think I'd be mad not to. I don't know if I want to change the colour or anything. I think I'll probably just leave it as it is, in all honesty. 32,000. I know it seems like a lot, but we've got some bits and bobs we can sell. I'm going to do it. Now, the other thing is, I've got two contracts that have popped up. We're into June. I've got two harvest contracts. I've got one for barley, one for wheat. We are going to be straw swathing, so we're going to be dropping the straw, and I'm going to be grasping at straws. We're going to do that using that pickup header belt system thing, forage harvester header pickup. You'll see, I'll explain and I'll show it. I showed it on the start of the last video where I was picking up the grass, but we're going to do it with straw because, as I showed when I did a mod review, and I was trying to do some fruiling and I messed it right up because I completed the contract before I collected the straw. But if you're doing a contract harvesting with this header, you can collect the straw, which on console you can't let me do. So we'll give that a go because I've got some things I want to do or that I want to use the straw for. So that's the plan. I'll see you momentarily out of the fields. Oh, actually, I might see you when I'm unloading the wood pellets, probably. Yeah, probably. I'm bringing my new trailer on my lorry, tractor unit, whatever you want to call it, out to field 17. The farmer has been called away unexpectedly, so I've been asked, can I come in and do it? I'm going to keep an eye on the other contracts. If any more wheat or barley contracts come up, I'm taking them. The other one is out on field 27 or 29, one of the two. So we'll pull this over here and we'll unload into it. We're not going to get a huge amount, but for me, this time, this is not about the crop. It's not about the wheat or the barley, it's about the straw that's left over. So we should just be able to get straight on with it, I guess. I'll tell you what I will do though. I've got another baling job's popped up there. Let's just double check, doesn't hurt. Disable straw swath. So straw swathing is on. So what I'll probably do is we'll get a worker going. God, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? And I'll go and get my tractor and trailer and I'll pick up the header that I'm going to use. So that I've got, look, that's popped up as well now. Or was it there earlier? But anyway, I used that a lot, or one like it, on the Western Wild. So I've got my Jeep. I'm going to stick with what I've got. It's a great price, but I'm not. I am tempted, but I'm not going to. Let's just say that, shall we? If we go down to our belt systems, which is where it was hiding, I looked all over the place. There we go. The forage pickup. We'll lease it as it is. 3,315. That is going to be worth its weight in gold. Now, as far as what I want the straw for, that's what I want. If we go to our productions here, Acetic acid I've turned off at the moment. We've got 17,568 litres of acetic acid. The compost is moving over when it needs to. Our hops, I've got 3 bags out. There's another bag ready that I can pull out. That's all chugging away, no problem at all. My silage up at the biogas plant, we've got 4,813 litres of methane, which is brilliant. 31,000 litres of digestate. I did take another load of silage up from our main store. No, did I take it? Oh no, I took it from the silo, this silo. That's now sitting at 142,000 litres with 99,000 left in. Now we are... Oh, that's the other thing I need to do. I must remind me. But this one will take straw. So I can do straw silage, so I can add to this. So I can put straw in, as it's a byproduct of what I'm doing anyway. And if I can pick it up, that would be absolutely great. What was the other thing as well? Oh, it was up here on these productions here. So here, I can use straw and slurry to produce manure. Up here, manure and digestate, which I'm going to have a byproduct, I can make solid fertiliser. So I know I'm using manure and slurry at the moment, but if I can make my own manure, that means the only thing I would need to then buy for any production on there would be slurry. And digestate, I'm now producing the biogas plant. So I could use the straw with a little bit of slurry to make the manure, then add it with a bit of digestate to carry on making solid fertiliser, which makes me almost self-sufficient, apart from the fact I'm buying a bit of slurry. But if we get some pigs or anything at some point, that's absolutely fine. Now, finances, I said every time I sold a bit, I would pay a bit off of my loan. So we're going to repay 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 grand off. So our money's gone down a bit. But that was always what was going to happen every couple of days when we sell our wood pellets. I mean, to be fair, like I said, I've got some hops to sell. We've got acetic acid to sell. I've got methane I can sell. So at some point when those have built up a bit more, I'll get because the acetic acid is going to need a specific trailer, as is the methane. So at some point we'll buy a methane trailer, just a small one, and then when that's processing we can get rid of our methane every now and again. So we are going to be grasping at straw. I did think, again, this was another one of those ones, I was trying to think of something witty, something clever, and I thought if I put the last straw or something like that, people would think, oh no, what's happened, why is he angry this time? I'm not always angry, I'm not always annoyed and frustrated, sometimes I'm quite happy. I am today, I'm very happy. Like I say, I'm just going to get one run around the outside, then I'll get a worker going, then we'll get out and we'll start collecting some of this straw up. The crop I will take off. I think the barley here has got to go to Acme. Was it Acme it's got to go to? Barley to Acme, that's the one down by the grocery mart, and that one's got to go to HH Milling. That fills up by HH Milling as well. So the other thing I'll probably do is once I've got the straw off here, if the harvest is still going, I might go over and then I can make a start on the other field, do the rounds on the outside, then get a worker going on that as well. And even if it's costing me over 1,000 on each of those contracts to borrow their equipment, again, it's about the straw for me on this one, it's not necessarily about the crop. I'm probably going to sell all the crop, I won't try and keep any, unless there's a load left over, but I don't know, you never know. I did a few contracts in these fields, fertilising and stuff like that. So it's interesting, as I know I said, we went all the way through spring and we didn't have a single sowing contract. Didn't really have any, we had 1, 2 weeding contracts pop up. Nothing for herbiciding, but we're hopefully going to run into starting on the harvest season now. So as those all roll around, like I say, I'm going to keep checking because you never know. There are a couple more fields that are ready to harvest. It'd be a pity if we go through and they don't pop up as contracts. I'm hoping if I finish one of these, maybe another one will appear, but who knows? It's a crazy, wacky world, the world of farm sim. Actually, I think we are going to get a fair bit of this. I'm just thinking we haven't done a complete round yet. We're already over 5,000 litres. So yeah, sometimes I have a plan in my head, sometimes I don't. Sometimes things you have to be kind of just roll with it on the fly when things happen. Just think, okay, how can I exploit this situation for my own benefit? A lot of the times I kind of have an idea in my head, and the weird thing was I just kept thinking, when I get round to harvest time, if I can get straw, and then when I got to like this morning, June, boom, up come the contracts, my brain then suddenly thought, what did I want the straw for? I couldn't, for the life of me, remember. I couldn't remember whether or not the fuels refinery needed straw for anything. I know wood chips is one of the things it needed, but I don't think so. But as it turns out, there are a few things, and even if I keep some back, I always pad out my total mix ration recipe with straw. You don't have to, but I generally do. If it's here and I can use it and utilise it, I'm going to. Now, because of the fact you can't bail on a contract field, and like I say, I'm hoping somebody did message me and say that whilst that the mod I'm going to use will allow this, or did allow this, that although that was updated to allow it, the game had an update and it didn't allow it. So it's going to be a bit of a test as well, if anything else. It should work. It did work when it first got changed, but I don't know. While we're doing this as well, might as well have a bit of a chat. How's everyone feeling about the old Platinum Edition thing with the rock breaking? How cool is that? The attachments for skid steer, if you haven't seen it, the blog post that came up the other day, more information on the Platinum DLC, or Platinum Expansion, sorry, coming. Yeah, rock crushing, rock breaking, so certain points around the map on Silver Run Forest, and again I don't know if this is going to work retrospectively on other maps unless the map makers change things on them. Possibly the standard in-game ones it might work, but you'll get contracts for doing it. If you've got a logging contract, but you might need to clear some lumber, some trees, and then you might need to clear some rocks, you go out with the machine, you hammer away on it with like the jackhammer attachment on the skid steer loader, break the big rock up into small rocks, then you can take those rocks away like the normal in-game rocks. So yeah, a bit of rock crushing, and you get contracts for that as well. There'll be contracts for breaking it up, which is absolutely amazing. So let's get him going. Let's get the lorry. I suppose what I should do is really bring the harvester out to the edge of the field, but I'm hoping that would be alright. We'll get on there okay. I could use theirs. It's a smaller trailer, but I think we're at that point now with the lorry. It makes sense to use this, like I say, so we can get faster between fields and sell points and that kind of stuff. So once that's in, loading, as we can see, I'll move the lorry out of the way. We'll go down, we'll grab I think we'll grab the John Deere, and then we'll grab our 52,000 litre trailer, and we'll grab that front attachment, and we'll come out here and we'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but you know what, if it does, awesome. So I guess proof of the pudding, so to speak. I'm going to see you in a minute. Let's give this a go. Okie dokie. I'm just wondering how many more colloquialisms I can get in. This is where the rubber meets the road. Come on. Fingers crossed. So I'm already one step ahead of when I did it on Fooling, that I didn't complete the contract and then all the straw disappeared off the field. So we're already leaps and bounds ahead. The question is though, is it going to work? If it does, awesome. Now, like I said before, when I did the mod review on this, I've got to stop saying that. I know that. I annoy myself when I say it. When I did seasons on 6 Ashes, you could do it on that if you had seasons running by Realismus modding on FS19, but it was one of those things that you didn't know until you did it, you know. Right, pipes out. Oh no, it's not. Pipes out now. Turn it on, drop it down. So contract field, not my field, don't own it. This normally you can't do. You can't bale, you can't do anything like that, but you can collect the straw off the field. The farmer wants it gone anyway. He's not going to do anything with it. He doesn't want to bale it. He'll probably just cultivate it in. There's a bit of kind of biomass to break down in the field. So our worker is getting on with the contract while we get on with collecting the straw. And we should do all right off this field and the next one. Like I say, if we get any more contracts come up for wheat or barley on any of the other fields, we'll do those as well. And I'll just grab as much as I can. This is all bonus. This is all extra stuff. It's all good. I'm very happy with that. So I don't know what's the message means that it doesn't work anymore. It really does. I knew the pickup worked anyway because I used it in the other episode for collecting the grass. It was just whether or not you could use it for the contract thing. So we should end up with plenty to use across all the various different things I might need it for, which is going to help massively. Straw galore. I think I did one before when I said that. Straw galore. What was I doing? Was that on Western Wilds? I'm trying to think. It rings a bell. So that's the other thing, you know, with the memory as well. Sometimes I'll think of a really witty thumbnail, you know, something to put on there, and then think, have I used that one before? There's certain things like doing straw or sugar beet or things like that. There's a limited amount of witty puns you could use in the thumbnail, but this contracting straw. One run round, we're nearly half full. Harvest is nearly full again. Just off these couple of fields, we should end up with hundreds of thousands of litres. Now this is not cheating in any way, shape or form. Like I said, the farmer wants it gone. He said we could bale it, but that's not something we can do. We don't own a baler for a start. And it's not something we can do. Whereas this, we can. It'd be a pity to waste it, wouldn't it? Now if I wanted bales for any particular reason, for straw, for bedding, if I wanted to put into straw blowers or whatever I wanted to do, I could take this straw and put it into my silo, or I could take it to a bit of land I own. I could drive across the field, I could open up the tailgate, I could put it on grain door, and I could dump out the back and then bale it on my own land if I wanted to bale it. If I really wanted straw bales for this, I could do that. But I'm not going to. I think we'll just put it into our hayloft storagey type deal. I think what I might do is take the first load actually up to the fermenter, up to the Hessian fermenter, and we can get that processing into silage. That might not be a bad idea. Then the rest take down to the farm, and we can decide what we're going to do with it. If at any point I decide actually I'm going to take some more up to the fermenter, because it might ferment fairly quickly. If we've got plenty, I could take another load up, but it wouldn't hurt to do one. So, at this point, I think is where we're going to pause. Let's turn that off, turn the engine off. I'm going to go and grab my lorry, because he's full again. So at least this keeps me busy in between while the worker's working. I'm not just waiting for the harvest to fill up, I can get this done. So I'll get this one done, field 17. I'll get all the straw off of it, then I'll move on to field, I'm sure it was 27. Was that the other one? Yeah, field 27. That's a bigger field, so we'll get even more off that one. And when you think about converting it over and all the various different products, even if I just convert it over to silage, the silage is worth way more than straw. And I gain kind of on the contract then. Even if the contracts don't pay out that much, even if I don't get anything left over, because I've borrowed equipment as well, I'll make money elsewhere through a diversification. Section. I really didn't think I would get so much, but all good. If I put this between the rows, I'm still getting what I'm doing. Right, I'll see you later on. Let's see how much we get. This thing shreds bales as well, if I recall correctly, if you wanted to use a bale shredder. It's 11:45. I'm down here at the Acme sell point and field 17 contract. I'm at 80% complete. I've taken all the straw off the field as well. I got over 150,000 litres, so 3 full loads of my other trailer. I put 1 full load, as you've seen, up at the fermenter. 2 full loads I've put into my production shed. Where are we? Into my production shed. So over here, our straw is full. Now I've got that running on straw and slurry, so that's now producing manure as well, which is topping the manure up here, which is great. That's how it needs to be. I'm going to do some more loads up to the fermenter. Then we'll do some loads into my storage silo. Now, while I was doing all of that, the contract came up for field 19 and for field 10. So what I've done is I've gone round the outsides, done the headlands on field 19. Now, bearing in mind, field 17 was a fairly small field up here, and we got 150,000 litres of straw off that. Field 19 is huge. We are going to get so much straw. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, and then we've got field 27 that I had originally, and then we'll have the field, is it field 10 I just said? We're going to take on in just a moment. But what I've got to do first is unload here. I think let's go over that to complete this contract first. Like I said, it doesn't matter if I don't have any left over. If I do, great. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. I do have a slight problem with the contract on field 19 though, which we'll talk about in a moment. What do I need to do? No, not that. There we go. Switch to the middle hopper. Dennis. The first one's Hopper from Stranger Things. That's Dennis, and I'm racking my brains for another person with the surname Hopper, but it doesn't matter. So, how are we going to look on this? 65% transport. I think we're going to have to probably transport the whole lot, aren't we? Pretty much. Rear hopper. I'll keep my finger over the trigger, but I don't know if we're left with much, are we? Like I said, it doesn't matter. We've got 150,000 litres of straw off that field, which I can use for other things. Oh, there we go. We're done. Pays a little bit extra on top, so that's all good. Now, I'm going to head back up towards the farm because the contract on field 19, which, like I said, I've already started, and then going around all the headlands, I've got a full trailer. Now, that contract, I borrowed equipment, as I'm doing with all of them. Now, I said before, because it's all cereal crops, I could have just borrowed the equipment for the first contract and then not for the others and used the same equipment on all 3 contracts. But I said, they're all different farmers, all different farms. I'm not using one farmer's equipment to do someone else's, contract work. That's not how it works. It can be if you want to, but that's not how I'm doing it. So, I've got a lorry, and the contract says I've got to deliver to the production shed, which I own. Now, this is one of the first times, and I've done tons of contracts on all different maps. It's one of the first times I might well have done it before, but I can remember where I've had a delivery to a building that I already own. Now my concern is that's got just over 40,000 litres in it. I'm not sure what the capacity of my production shed is. So I could have that same issue that I had with the biogas plant. If I hit the fill limit on here, I can't complete the contract until this processes whatever I put in here. It's a good problem to have, because not only am I going to be doing the contract and I'm going to be bringing it here to which is it's my own production. So not only do I complete the contract, I then get all of the crop. So the thing with this one, if I'm putting wheat in here, the wheat on this will be for producing seeds. I can do seeds from wheat. That'll require the wheat and manure. Another reason why setting this off means I can be producing producing manure, which I'm going to need. So if I hit my fill limit of wheat, I'm going to have to put on the production to make seed, just because I need to clear it so I can fulfill the contract. So what I then had to do, it's been a bit of a game, all my seed that I produced before that I stored in here, I've had to take back out again, otherwise I've got no capacity to produce seed. So the whole thing's been a little bit, I'm not sure how this is going to work. So next thing I'm going to do is save the game, because I've got to bring this over and unload into there. No, there's no reason to why it won't work. That's what it's saying it will do. So we've saved the game. The farm dog is happy about that, as you can tell in the background. It's over the moon that we've saved the game. I don't know what it's barking at this time. Now, I don't know if I've got enough room to turn around here either. So this is going to be an interesting one. So it should come up. Oh no, I don't think I'll get in there, am I? This is going to be... How do I go about this? Maybe try and go more into the corner. There we go, right, so, fingers crossed. Well, I'm not being paid for it, so that's good. It should come up with a percentage of the contract complete. If that's done that, we're golden. Okay, that worked. So if we go back to here then, we should now have... Ah. Okay, that's weird. There's nothing there. But I thought... So it's literally just using it as a sell point. Didn't it used to be that way? I'm sure it used to be when you put stuff in there. If it was yours, you got... Has that been changed in an update recently or something? Because that's now... There's nothing in there. So it's literally just used it as a sell point. Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that from that respect, I haven't got to worry now about trying to work out how I was going to complete the contract. But it's just taken the crop. Is it supposed to, though? Is it supposed to take the crop? I'm thinking what I might do is remove a couple of fence panels. So if we get other contracts like this, it might be easier for getting larger vehicles in and out here. I can swing round and back up, maybe. Hang on a second. Can I take these out? I think I can. Yeah, let's take that one out, that one out, that one out. I can always put a gate in, or I can put some more fence panels back or something. Right, so yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Do that and that. Switch it over to the rear one. Because all the vehicles I've used up to now have been fairly short, and it hasn't been a problem. Nope. I feel I might have removed the wrong panel. There we go. How strange. So am I misremembering, or has it been changed in an update? Like I say, not that it matters. It's a good thing, because it means I won't be full. No, there's nothing in there. Okay, well I'll just go on with the contracts then. So me moving the seed and stuff out, I thought I'd have to move some out, otherwise I'm going to have to produce. I didn't have to worry doing that. So what we'll do now then is, with that contract complete, and I haven't got any of the equipment, have I? Nope, we can collect on that. And then we can take that one on, borrow items. They're waiting for us. So what I'm going to do is head over to field 19, carry on clearing the headlands if we go across, we should see now, yeah, I've gone around the outside and now it's just going backwards and forwards there. That is my tractor with trailer and the forage header. I've got a full load of 52,000 litres of straw that needs to go up. I'm going to take to the fermenter there. And then we'll take out that equipment that I've just leased. That will go out to field 10. I've got the equipment already sitting at field 27. That's ready to go, so I'll probably just get the headland going on that as well. And we'll kind of see sort of really how much straw we're going to end up with. I mustn't forget as well that with that production shed, I've got digestate up at the biogas plant, which I need to bring back down to my production shed. And that can also run manure as well. So I can do straw and digestate to produce manure. I've got the digestate from the biogas plant, so I might as well do that as well. So yeah, I'm kind of, we're doing all right. That's baffled. I say it's baffled me. I don't know why it's baffled me. It shouldn't have baffled me, but where should I take this one to now? Because I've got that other one I could be doing field 19 with. This one could go maybe to field 10 or field 27. Yeah, so I'll see in a little while. I've got more to do. We'll get cracking on the other two. We'll get the headlands done and we'll get workers going on those. And then we'll see really just, I mean, I'm just thinking time-wise, how long that's going to take me to do. Just how much straw we're going to be left with. And, you know, I think we're going to have quite a few 100,000 litres, which is great. Hasn't cost me a penny. So other than leasing that forage header, and obviously if I have it for longer than an hour, I'm going to have an hourly lease on it. But what I'm gaining from it, it's absolutely worth it. Which I might have mentioned already. I think I probably have. We're up at HH Milling. This is where the contract for Field 27 had to be delivered to. It's now just gone 3 o'clock and I've finished all 4 fields. So we go and have a look at our map. Field 17, you saw earlier we did. We completed on Field 17 so we could take on the contract on Field 10. So Field 19, Field 10 and Field 27 have all been cleared. I've cleared all of the straw off of them as well. Blimey, that was a task. A lot of to and fro, but absolutely worth it because all of the straw I've got off of that I wouldn't have got before. I would have had to do my own fields to get that amount of straw, and we'll talk about the amount of straw we got in a moment. The Field 10 is complete. If we go to our contracts and have a look. No, that one. So Field 10 is done, but I hadn't completed it because I was still getting the straw off the field. So that's now done. Least cost of the vehicles. I can... be careful here. I'm going to wait till I've done them all. I can collect on that. I had 4,300 litres of barley left from that contract, which has gone into the silo. So Field 27's harvest is wheat, and I'm at 94%, so we'll see. Field 19 going to our production shed is at 99%. So we should have a fair bit left of wheat from that contract. So we'll see if we're getting left from here. I can't remember. I think I'm on the correct one at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on the top right. Okay, so I need to switch to that one, then that one. And go again. Keep an eye out. That's interesting. I've got some in the middle tank as well. 2 tank. Oh, the rear tank. I think, hang on a minute, that's empty completely. I didn't realise I had in the rear tank as well. Right, let's go forward then till there. Do that and that. Okay, let's go again. Okay, 7,401 litres of wheat left. So I'm going to drive this back over to the main farm. We've got our no, this is our trailer, isn't it? We've got the other trailer sitting over there waiting to complete contract 19, and then once I get over there we'll talk about the silos, how much we got in them, and it's a lot more than I thought we were going to get. But again, that's a good thing. I don't think we've had any more contracts pop up, and we've had no new machinery pop up in the used machinery market, which I don't think we have. Harvest has been left in the corner there. Workers just decided they had enough. Just dump it there, that'd be alright. I said keep it off the field so I can collect the straw, and that's kind of where it ended up. Can't answer that. Got to slow down for this corner. I have had incidents here before, you may remember, with a log trailer. It wasn't pretty. Oh dear, right, okay. It just seems to... This is one of those episodes, it's been one of those ones where it's taken a lot of hours to get to where I am now. It was my own choice. It was my own choice to do it, it's my own choice to do the straw, you know, and again, it's that kind of thing of, well, what I've gained out of it was well worth the time put in, but it's just been one of those ones, you know, you'll watch a 40, 50 minute video, however long it's going to be when I edit it, and it's been 5 hours, I think, it's something like that. A lot of time. We've got machinery just left everywhere. I've got more melon crates that need to be collected. I've got 2 on each. Did I say we got a pallet of peppers? We didn't have one last time I spoke, but we have now. we've got a pallet of peppers that we can sort out as well. I've got a... Let's put that into storage. Then we'll turn the engine off. Actually, there we go. Yeah, so we've got 4 more here, along with the 8 there, they need to be collected. I've got those 3 bags here. I think I've got enough for another 2 or 3 bags potentially in here. Peppers, we've got further over. Yeah, so what we'll do this bit first, then we'll look at how much straw we end up with. So I think we've got 28,000 litres left in here, something like that. Oh, 20,000 litres. So we've got 20,000 litres. We're ready to unload, and the contract's on 99%. So I need to hover over this trigger, just ready. There we go, contract 19 complete, 16,075 litres left over. So we've done all right from the wheat. The barley, like I say, the first one I didn't really keep anything from the barley, but the second one was just over 4,000 litres. Now, if you recall, when I did the harvest on field 17, I said we had about 150,000 litres to come off that field. 100,000 went into here, because that was all the straw it would take, to mix with slurry or mix with digestate so we can have manure being processed. 50,000 litres went up to the fermenter up on the hill. So this has still got 100,000, well, it's processing, but it's got about 100,000 litres in it. Our main silo here at the farm, which is a kind of silo, hay loft, jack of all trades type deal. I'll put all this wheat in a minute. I have too much equipment sitting around, don't I? Let's put that there. Let's move it out in a minute. That has now got about 500,000 litres in it, I think. What are we looking at? Straw, 472,803 litres in here. So 100,000 there, 472,000 litres here, 572,000 litres. If we then look at our fermenter, if we go to that one there, our fermenter, straw silage, we've got 804,000 litres in there. So we came out of this with, what, 1.3 million litres? Nearly 1.4? That's crazy. Is that right? 500, yeah, nearly 600,000, yeah, nearly 1.4 million litres of straw off of contract fields that I didn't own. All spare stuff that was, it was going begging, honest governor. So yeah, I'm going to switch a few things over. I've got digestate to bring down from the biogas plant. That's going to go into our production shed. And then that will mix in, and I'll be making the manure in there. So I'll have the straw going with manure, going with slurry, not manure, with slurry and digestate to be giving me my manure. The manure will then be mixing to make fertilizer. That's all good. This is absolutely filthy, horrendous, and I had to refill this with fuel, and I had to service it because it was, I mean, we were backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And that forage thing, I'll show it again. This was absolutely what a mint piece of equipment. I know I've used it before. I know there were versions of it on FS19, but that forage pickup, absolutely brilliant. And I think if you're emptying silage clamps and stuff like that, they work brilliantly for that too. So all sorts of stuff. So that's all of that done. All I need to do now is complete all those contracts, don't I? I'm just thinking this. Oh no, this is. Oh no, no, no. Ooh. Because that's my lorry, that's the contract one. If I complete the contract, I'll lose that 16,000 litres I've got sitting there. So I'll, and this is where, see, if you have multiple contracts going, I do this all the time, I say to myself, yeah, I think I'm all right, and I kind of work through mentally, yeah, that's all right, and then I end up losing stuff because I jumped the gun. No, I'm going to watch this in a minute, Saturday. You know what, I'm going to do that off camera. Let's go down here. Yeah, when you next see me, we'll be back over 100,000 because we've got those 3 contracts to complete on. How much are we getting on these? I've lost myself again. There we go. So 5,400, 11,000, 16 grand, 18, 19 grand. Yes, about another 20 grand to add onto that. Oh, we've got a cultivating job there. I can complete on field 10 straight away because I haven't got any gear for that one. But the cultivating job, actually, we don't own a cultivator. How much is it reducing that by? 709. We probably could do with buying a cultivator actually at some point, but I'm going to accept that. No, I'm going to borrow items because then we can use ERX. That'd be cool. Let's do that. And then I would imagine the fields that I've just harvested, I'm going to cultivating jobs and then probably fertilising jobs and stuff come up for those as well. But yeah, I want to show you, we got our first pallet of peppers, having put the, now that's taken 3 days. So because I'm on 3-day months, I mean technically a month, but we've got a pallet of peppers there, look. How cool is that? They're not to be sniffed at, they're worth a fair old bit. As are my hot pellets and stuff. So I have, yeah, I've got acetic acid to sell. I've got methane up at the biogas plant to sell. I've got the hot pellets. I've got peppers that I haven't done, and all the melons that are sitting there as well. So yeah, potentially start the next episode. I think I have to offload some stuff because it's all sitting there ready to be sold, and I might as well just maximise my profits as I can. So while I clean this all off, a couple of scratches I could probably all do with a bit of a respray and stuff, a bit of a refurb, but that's where we will end this episode, and then look towards what I'm going to do on the next one. We'll see what other contracts come up, if any more come up, and we'll keep ticking over. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're still enjoying it. If you are, and if you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.